Ah! Hello and good morning, donkey friends, and welcome to your daily dose of donkey. I just wanted to give you a quick warning that this particular episode of Daily Dose of Donkey is a little bit of a political rant. So if you're not interested in hearing, political opinions and slightly angry ramblings at current German politics happenings, then I would advise you to skip this particular one. If you do, that's totally fine. There will be plenty of Daily Dose of Donkeys to come, and they will definitely not all be political rants. I will absolutely keep those to a minimum. It's just sometimes it just boils in me so much that either I go to bed frustrated and angry or I just let it out. So in this case, I let it out. I hope you can forgive me, and maybe if you stay to listen to it, you will actually enjoy it. You might agree, you might disagree. If you do, please tell me in the comments, tell me your opinion. If you're a German, do tell me what you are going to vote for this year. And if you want to criticize my choice and opinion, please feel free to do so. I'm absolutely not above those things. But if you want a civil response, keep it civil yourself. Alright, with that out of the way, enjoy your daily dose of donkey. Anyway, today I shall bring you some glorious Eternal, because earlier on the stream, I'm recording this after the Wednesday stream. And for the Wednesday stream, I played the Elder Scrolls Legends, which is the Elder Scroll card game that is very close to Hearthstone. And playing it, I kind of had to, I don't know, I have to say it kind of made me want to play Eternal instead. I don't know. Eternal is just, in my opinion, the much superior card game. I think the mechanics are better. It uses lands, something like lands, as in the vein of Magic the Gathering, but it sort of has that quick type of play that you get with Hearthstone and those sorts of games. So I really like that marriage, and now that they finally also added voices for all their cards, because before it didn't have voices, I actually think that this game is absolutely brilliant. And let me just think here real quick. What does this guy do when he hits me? Play 2 5/5 beasts? What? That seems insane. Well, let's attack first of all. So just like in Magic in this game, you attack and then the opponent gets to decide if he wants to block or not. And yeah, so you can't directly attack any creeps. And we're just going to kill this guy. I find him to be rather scary. Yeah, so today, yeah, again, I played Elder Scrolls Legends, and it really made me want to play this. It's just, I really do think it's just so much better in pretty much every way. And best play here is going to be this, because it buffs it 3/3. And then... Nah. I'm gonna attack. I'm pretty sure that I'm gonna just play the Crownwatch Deserter.
You're not fit to rule!
Yeah, but it was a good day. It was a bit of a stressful day for me. I had quite a lot of work to do in the morning, and then in the evening, my mother... Uh-oh, what did he gain now? +2/+2? Okay, fair enough. And in the evening, my mother had issues with her her plumbing in her flat was apparently screwed up, all sorts of screwed up, and I had to babysit the plumber who was there to fix it, because she didn't want him to be alone in the flat, because she had to leave. So I think that's fair enough. You wouldn't want strangers in your house, I suppose. I think I'm just gonna keep attacking. I'm not really all that scared of his 4/4 now that the infiltrate is gone. Yep, so... I don't know. I'm a bit flustered today, so there's I'm having a hard time finding more words here, because I don't know. I've been I'm a bit upset again at what's going on politically, not just in my country, but everywhere. It's just a never-ending issue, really, and It is annoying, I will say. Now the question is, can I attack flyers with that? I don't actually know. That would be interesting to know. I think for now we are just going to attack. And then... Okay, let's play the field captain.
Forward, soldiers!
Yeah, so the political situation is just incredibly frustrating to me because, like, I don't even have a particular horse in the race when it comes to German politics, because honestly I don't really entirely agree with any of the parties. I think they're all just weird. Yeah, they've all lots of stuff that I just don't want, and it's forcing me in a direction that is just really counter to what I actually want to vote for, and that makes me just really upset. Oh man, he played some big stuff here. I'm not too happy about that. How am I gonna deal with this? I can't let him get that. That would be awful. So I probably should use the sword. Alright, let's use the sword.
Take my sword.
It's really, really wasteful to kill that, though. Really wasteful, but I have to. And then we'll play this.
Draw, mister.
And I guess we'll just have to defend. Yeah, because I'm, you know, from what I want to vote for, I'm definitely more of a sort of socially slanted liberal. You know, I'm definitely liberal. I absolutely despise authoritarianism, but I don't like what the sort of liberal and more left-leaning appropriate parties are trying to do, which is, you know, mostly neoliberalism, and I can't stand neoliberalism because it's an oxymoron. It shouldn't even be called neoliberalism because it's not liberalism. It's just corporate interest, basically. That's what it should be called. Play the giant owl, and it makes me just it frustrates me that I agree so much more with you know, right-wing parties on issues that I really care about, you know, because I usually I wouldn't want to vote for them at all because they're right-wing, right? Then for the most part they, you know, I disagree with the things they want, but there are a few things that are pressing, in my opinion, that I just do agree on with them, and that's just, it sucks. But you know, being a person of conscience, I'm going to have to vote for them because I can't. I have to think about sort of, you know, the greater implications of my vote, so to speak, right? And does that block against Aegis from, but not from battle damage, protect from any spells or effect? Okay. So it's gonna block that. I can't kill him. We're just gonna, I think we're just gonna kill this thing. Pew! Because then I can get right back to attacking. Oh, I should attack last turn as well. I'm just talking does ruin your gameplay a little bit. So yeah, I feel myself wanting to vote for right-wing parties that I usually would not even consider, but you know, it's where my okay. Let's make this entirely honest talk, right? So, I'm not just a social leaning liberal. I'm certainly also a nationalist. I think civic nationalism is incredibly important because, well, without a nation, what do you have, right? The nation is what guarantees everything. Without a constitution or you know, a coup d'etat, anything like that, you can't have rights. That's what guarantees you your rights, is people coming together and accepting that these are the rights that everybody should have. And so going against the nation is ridiculous. It's nonsensical. You say, you know, the freedom of speech that you're using to, you know, to criticize the nation, to criticize capitalism or whatever you want to call it, you know, all this stupid anarchy shit. You only have that freedom because of the nation. Without the nation, you don't have that freedom. Without the nation, you are beholden to whoever has the biggest stake closest to you. Right? That's all anarchy devolves to, is you have a bunch of people who, once again, because, you know, humans are humans, they fucking band together into groups, and the strongest group dictates what goes. And so going against the idea of the nation is unbelievably destructive. And so, you know, to me, it's obvious that I'm a nationalist, right? And it doesn't even necessarily just mean I'm a nationalist. I love the German nation. It is kind of irrelevant of the actual nation that I would be living in. For example, I certainly have been playing with the idea of moving to another nation. I'm just gonna search for a new game, and if I, you know, was to go to another nation, say if I was to move to, I don't know, Poland, right? I would be a Polish nationalist, because I would still, you know, think that it is incredibly important to keep my rights as a Polish citizen, right? And to make sure, not a great hand, but I'll keep it. To make sure that those rights are guaranteed, not just for me, but for the people who come after me. Yeah, and it frustrates me that the idea of nation has completely gone from the left. Because nationalism doesn't have to be right wing. It doesn't have to be. It's not a concept that is you know, automatically right wing. The concept that is right wing is, you know, things like religious nationalism, where you then get theocracies, which would, for example, be Islamic nations, right? They are religiously nationalistic. Then you have your ethnic nationalism, which more colloquially known as white nationalism. You can also have black nationalism. It doesn't matter. It's all based on ethnicity, right? Or you can have, well, more technically, it should be called racial nationalism, because ethnic nationalism would be, say, you know, the old German thing, Deutschland den Deutschen, so Germany for the Germans, right? So only Germans can be in Germany. That's ethnic nationalism. That's not something I advocate for at all. I think that's fucking terrible. Yeah, and those concepts are absolutely right-wing. But nationalism as a base idea, the civic nationalism, right? That doesn't have to be right-wing at all. That should be in everybody's best, that is in everybody's interest, right? And by the way, I should probably explain, if you don't know what civic nationalism is, it basically means anybody who wants to be part of a nation is part of a nation, right? So if you join a nation and you accept the culture and you sort of you become, you know, you become a member of that society, a person living within that society, and you accept the nation and the values and all this sort of stuff, right? That's what civic nationalism is. It just means if you're a citizen of a nation, that makes you part of that nation, basically, and that's what you try to espouse, I guess. And a great example of civic nationalism would be the United States. Anyone can go into the United States, yeah, anyone can be a citizen there, But, is he gonna take the bait? Oh, he's gonna take the bait. Boom! Yeah, anybody can become a citizen of the United States, but you are kind of expected to just become an American, right? You can bring all the best things from the place you came from, but the values and the you know, rights and laws and everything are of the United States. And if you don't like that, you can fuck off, basically. And I think that is a perfectly legitimate position to hold, and it's a position I hold as well. If you don't like it here, what are you fucking doing here? You know, nobody asked you to come here. You came here of your own free will. So, you know, just why not, you know, why not act like it? Let's attack with both of these. And, you know, that lack of you know, national pride, I guess, or national just identity on the left is so frustrating to me. It's just so frustrating because I mean, I agree with some of the things they on the social side, you know, like equal rights, equal representation, blah blah blah. All of that stuff I think is totally great, and we definitely should have it. But I just simply don't agree with, you know, well, affirmative action, things like that, right? That's not equality. That's equality of outcomes. Just not interested in that. But aside from that, yeah, that entire left side, and that doesn't just mean progressives or communists or socialists. It's a thing that I've seen with a lot of sort of people who share a lot of my opinions, so that are very social, sort of liberals, I guess. They have all kind of lost that they've all sort of lost that drive to be like in favor of their own nation, right? You'll hear things like, oh, you know, Germany or France or whatever doesn't have any culture. We don't have culture, right? These other people that come to us, they gift us their culture. They have culture, we don't have culture. I just don't understand how this can even, you know, enter a person's mind. It's complete bollocks. Everything that makes your nation or my nation or whoever's nation what it is, that's our culture, right? That I can, like, everything you do, you know, everything, all the traditions, everything, that's all culture. How can you be of the absolutely absurd opinion that, you know, that there's no, that Germans have no culture? It's complete and utter nonsense. And damn it, I can't kill that. I'm gonna have to just sit here for a turn. And it's destructive. It's incredibly destructive because, you know, these people will say, oh, it doesn't matter if, you know, we have completely unchecked immigration and, you know, these people aren't assimilating. They're just living in basically isolated, I have to say, it's ghettos, sadly. And that's fine because, you know, because Germans don't have any culture. It doesn't matter if you know, Germans cease to exist because nothing will be lost to the world. Are you fucking kidding me? You know, these are people who have just absolutely no idea or no clue about history. I mean, sure, yeah, there are 12 years of German history that aren't that great. Yeah, that aren't, you know, the world could have done without. But then again, if the world had done without it, who knows what it would look like these days. Yeah, but there are, apart from that, there are hundreds, thousands of years of contributions, yeah, from Germans who, you know, obviously were parts of German culture. There's so much literature that comes from Germany. Every single fucking socialist follows the mad scribblings of a German. Karl Marx was a fucking German. Engels was a German. Right? So many of these political scholars, of these, just writers and poets were Germans. How can you say that there's no German culture? It's ridiculous. And that just makes me not want to vote for any of the parties you think are acceptable. Because, well, apparently they all share your ridiculous nonsensical beliefs. So why the hell would I go ahead and vote for any of these people when their goal seems to be the destruction of, you know, everything that's that's German culture and that I, you know, find important? It's just a ridiculous thing, and it really bothers me. So yeah, I find myself really wanting to well, I'll tell you. Yeah, I find myself really wanting to vote for the AfD this year for our federal election, because I can't stand it. I can't stand all the duplicity and all the double standards, the hypocrisy that constantly goes on. Yeah, the absolutely anti-democratic. Oh well, I should have just attacked with everything, shouldn't I? Whoops. Oh well. The anti-democratic garbage that's constantly happening, yeah, because they are so quick to complain that somehow the AfD or other right-wing parties are anti-democratic, that they're fascists, right, they're Nazis. But there's nothing more anti-democratic than saying that a party that is, you know, well, legal. Right? There's nothing illegal about the AfD. There's nothing morally wrong about the AfD. But it's ridiculous to. Wait, give me a second. I have to calculate. Yeah, he's dead. It's ridiculous to say that these parties can't be, you know, they aren't allowed to be part of the conversation. They aren't allowed to be voted for. If you vote for these people, you're a racist or whatever. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely absurd. And again, it just makes me not want to vote for any of them, for any of the current established parties. All of them seem to be totally fine with just saying, you know what, don't vote for the AfD. They may be a legitimate party, but we don't like them. And I find that the most anti-democratic thing that I've ever seen in German politics. And on the other side, having read, you know, a lot about the AfD, I don't actually think that what they're saying is that nonsensical. Yeah, some of it is definitely authoritarian, but that's just German politics. Every fucking party in Germany is authoritarian as hell. The standard German politics creed is, I don't like this, let's ban it. They all do it. So why is this new party suddenly different? What does make them so different, huh? Because they're right-wing? Who gives a shit? It's a good thing to have both right-wing and left-wing politics in every country, because if you only have left-wing, as we had for the longest time in Germany, yeah, because you really can't call the CDU right-wing, they were centrist at best, yeah, it's horrible. It turns into exactly what's going on right now. Nothing that is even remotely, nothing that would be considered conservative in England or in the United States is acceptable here. Those positions are simply not acceptable. They're immediately called out as Nazi. It's absurd. I can't stand it. And it just bothers me. So I'm sorry that I had to ruin your breakfast maybe, but I simply couldn't make a different episode today. I had to do a bit of a rant, because otherwise I would have just gone to bed really, really sad, and I don't like to go to bed sad. So if you hated it, I hope you tuned out. I might put a little thing in the beginning that says that this is going to be a political rant. Anyway, thank you very much for joining me in these two little games of Eternal, a game that's probably going to feature more often on Daily Dose of Donkey, because I just certainly love playing this game. And if you have enjoyed what you've seen, definitely go check Eternal out. It's a pretty cool game. It hasn't really made big splashes on YouTube or Twitch, but it does have a very healthy player base, as you can see by me queuing at 2:14 AM and getting into a game pretty much immediately. Alright, thank you guys very much for watching your Daily Dose of Donkey, and there will be a new one tomorrow, of course. I have been the Cloaking Donkey, and I'll see you in another video.